Hi, how you doing? Thanks for either visiting my YouTube channel or coming to my website. So earlier I created a quick video which is on my site and my channel, which goes over the diagram here. This is the most up-to-date version. See in the video, it's just a little bit different on the NFS shares, but feel free to check out that video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dive on in and actually show you the system. So here's an overview. This is that B-Link little mini PC I got running. It's got two virtual machines running on it. The virtual machines have K3s running. Then on top of that, it's got a Splunk pod and a MySQL pod. And the only thing that's really doing any work is the Splunk server is probably getting data continuously from 5 different systems. And as you can see, the CPU is just kind of sitting there chilling. So it's got all this running on it, and the CPU is handling it just fine. Each of my KVM VMs have 4 gigs of RAM allocated to them, and I still have 4 gigs left, so I'm doing just fine on that. Down to the networking section, if you watch my earlier video, you'll notice that you want to create a bridge and connect your VMs to a bridge. That way the VMs can connect through the bridge and still talk to the hypervisor. If you set them as direct connect type connection, then the VMs will not be able to communicate across the network to the host that it's sitting on. And due to my design, I want to make sure that they can, so that's where my NFS shares at. So I learned that the hard way. So anyways, so I created a bridge, but then I have dual NICs on this, so I actually created a team first. So the team is actually nested inside the bridge. Then if you go down to my team, then those are my two interfaces that are inside my bridge. Bridge. So that's pretty much the networking portion of it. Then to the virtual machines. So I spun up one virtual machine and then I cloned it. Then kind of like computers in Windows that get a SID, RHEL also has a UUID, I think something like that. So if you're going to clone your systems, make sure you run the commands to recreate the UUID so it's unique. So when you go to register it with Red Hat and get access to the repos, it actually works correctly. If not, you're only ever going to have one system registered because they have the same UUID. So that was a problem I ran into as well. RHEL 81, so this one's being slammed right now a little bit. I don't know if this one's actually running my pods or not. I haven't looked lately. So 4 gigs of RAM. Thing is, if I go into this and I run like BTOP or HTOP, I don't think this is exactly 100% correct. I created it with a 25 gigabyte hard drive, and you can see that is connected via the bridge. One of the other big reasons, the number one reason why I use VMs is snapshots. So every step of the way, setting up the networking, setting up the NFS shares, or setting up my PVs, running my YAML files, and doing stuff in K3s, I had to revert many, many, many times. Actually, because I didn't set up the bridge, I actually had to delete all my VMs, start over from scratch, because everything was just a big mess. So going with VMs not only gives you the ability to use snapshots, so you can easily roll back if you remember to make your snapshots. Also, with a couple easy bash scripts, you can actually just copy the files. And there are your hard drive files, which actually make up your drive, which is your disks. So, like right here, I got it. There's this. So you can just back up these disks, and then there's also another file path that you want to make sure you grab. I can't remember off the top of my head. There's XML files, which are like the config files for your VMs. So as long as you back up those files, and I would suggest making sure you just back up that whole directory, everything that's in it, and then all your hard drives, you could actually do a restore, or even copy them over to another system and spin them up over there. So having a virtual infrastructure not only allows me to roll back easy, but it also allows me a real simple way to go ahead and back everything up. Make sure you click the old auto restart here, so this way if I ever reboot these, the script I have that runs shuts down my VMs, then copies those files over to an external hard drive, and then the script starts the VMs back up. So that's how I have it set up, and that's just in a cron job. So just curious, these are exactly mirror images of each other, other than the fact of one's a system controller and one is a node. Let's see, this one is actually only running. This looks pretty healthy. I'm not sure if this is running the pods or not, but we'll take a look at that real quick. So this is eggshell. Sounds like eggshell, but eggshell. And I love this because you can run, multiple sessions all at the same time. So this has been like my very software. Other things that you can do is kind of go side by side like this. So I've done this to make sure that I'm working on the thing. So I put my two agent nodes over here, and then this over here on my left is the actual hypervisor. So, and I can label them. So this is K3s. This is the full-blown K3 install. This is the agent node or the worker node. Worker node, I think, is the proper term for it. So I'm all logged in. So I created some scripts that already have the commands in them for looking at all my pods. I got like MySQL checkers that will go out and check and give all the information on my SQL pod. And this will give me, of course, my Splunk pod. So if I just do a... Alright, so there. It goes out and runs a whole bunch of commands and gives me my output. So right now this shows me, excuse me, everything about the Splunk deployment. So this is all the Splunk deployment. So this right here, so it is actually running on 981. See all my, so you got your deployment in the top, got your pod details, and your persistent volume, claims. Sorry, these are your claims down here. And then the actual service. So pretty much all the information that I need to see about that pod right now. Pretty much I was just kind of looking to see actually where it's running, which is on 981. Now then if I run the MySQL one, let's do a clear. Now I'm looking at all the information on that pod, and it's also running on 980, which is just fine. It's the pod details, SQL deployment, really not much information. The PVs, that's the same information. C is going to be, of course, a little bit different. See everything that's bound. You got the name, capacity, storage class. And then, of course, down here you got the service information. The good thing about seeing the service information is you can see the bind between the ports. So MySQL usually runs on 3306, and in K3s you got to map everything above 30,000 or something like that. Which I tried to map, port to port, and it won't let you, or it just won't run. So make sure when you're assigning your external port access in your service that you're and doing it in your deployment that you're using the correct port range. So I just kind of wanted to go over and show you my setup a little bit, and that's about it. A short, quick video, and hit that like button and subscribe. And I'm just going to make a whole series of these little short videos so that people can get a better understanding of K3s and what you can actually do on one small little system. Thanks a lot.